English because Henrik.
Oh yeah.
That's not going in the video. Yeah.
And cut.
So we have made this social, the interactive game where you get a question and you have to vote on the other participants. And we're testing the input for this, which is the voting system. You have 6 buttons here, and you have 6 LEDs, and when they are red, they indicate that they are turned on.
Okay.
So you have to pretend that this is like real LEDs. We'll have like 3 different scenarios where we'll like say you want to vote on this.
Yeah.
What do you do? And then you vote, and then we ask you some questions afterwards. And I hope it's okay that this is recorded.
Of course.
Great. Okay, so first scenario is that you are getting a question, and you want to vote on Carsten, who is red.
Yes.
And what do you do then?
Well, since we have these input, I will assume I should press red on the keyboard.
Yes.
And now it started blinking.
What do you think about this?
Well, you get some kind of visual, what's it called?
Feedback?
Yeah, feedback when you have interacted with it, so it's actually quite nice to know that something happened.
You now find out that you would actually rather vote blue. What do you do then?
Well, I expect that I should just press blue and then it would change my answer. And it did.
Greatness. Okay. We'll now ask you some questions about this scenario. Was it obvious to you before we told you to vote blue instead that you could actually do a revote?
It doesn't say anything that you can do it, but well, that was just trial and error. I think just pressing the button and figure out if it would change or not.
What do you think of the frequency of the blinking? Is it too slow, too fast?
Well, it's an okay pace it has, so it should be. Oh yeah, could be maybe just a bit faster, but well, that's. I think that's an individual.
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions to how you can make it more obvious that you can revote?
Some kind of timer, I think, saying that you have chosen this and you have you have started countdown until you can revote or something.
Okay.
So some kind of timer telling you that you can revote.
Great. We'll go through the second scenario now. I'll just quickly take this and just set it up. Let me just see. Great. In this scenario, there will be a question that will be who does the blue player think is the most beautiful in the world among these players?
Yeah.
And you personally think that the player called Carsten is beautiful, so what do you do in this case?
Well, I think I should just press the red button.
Great.
And now it started blinking, but...
let me just quickly see here. What do you think it means that an LED is turned off in this case?
That participant isn't a part of this question, or the person is asking the question. I can't remember who was the person who asked the question.
The question was who does blue think is the most beautiful in the world?
Oh, yeah, of course they can vote on themselves.
Okay.
Among the people, so okay.
Do you think this is a good way to indicate it on, or should there be a better way?
That's a bit, well, distracting that it's just turned off because you don't know what it actually means. It makes sense when you are asked the question, but otherwise you're not fully aware of what it is.
Okay. Then we'll prepare for scenario 3. Okay. In this scenario, you are only 3 players, and the question is, who do you think has the biggest size of shoes? And you think that the green player has the biggest size of shoes. So what do you do in this case?
I will press the green button, and it started blinking.
Meanwhile, there is a new player who joins the game, which is the yellow player. And as he joins the game, the following happens. And you find out that he actually has a bigger size of shoe than the green player you voted on. So you probably want to vote on him now. And what do you do in that case?
Well, I do as I did in the first scenario. I press the yellow, and it shifts to the yellow instead.
Great. Do you think it's obvious that when a player joins in that it's possible to vote on the person once the LED turns on? Or?
Well, it makes sense when the LED is turned on, then you should be able to vote on them, so that makes perfectly good sense.
Great. On another subject, what do you think of the color of the LEDs in this case?
Well, maybe it would be better if they were at the same color as the different players, but it's difficult to get LEDs in purple and yellow. So not yellow, orange or anything. So I can understand just using one color for each. That also makes sense. And then you just have some color code on the keyboard.
Great. And that was actually it for our PID test here. Thank you very much. What was your name again?
Leonard.
Leonard.